Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of the RacingOne Report, where we bring you up to speed on the entire world of motorsports. I'm Pete Pistone. Back-to-back short tracks are the order of the day for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. After last Sunday's Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, it's off to Martinsville Speedway for Sunday's running of the Goody's Fast Pain Relief 500. And even though Martinsville and Bristol are both half-mile tracks, they couldn't be more different. Bristol with its high banks, Martinsville with its paperclip-shaped layout and its flat turns. And joining us now is the driver of the Hendrick Motorsports Kellogg's CarQuest No. 5 Chevrolet, Mark Martin, who has sat on the pole the last 2 weekends and will shoot for his third pole this week in Martinsville. And Mark, we appreciate the time. 2 different short tracks, of course, after what you guys had at Bristol on Sunday. What's the approach this week in Martinsville, and what do you need to do to be in victory lane there on Sunday afternoon?
Well, the special thing about Martinsville, I think the thing that you really have to think about more than most racetracks are the brakes. You know, it is brutal on brakes, and some of the other places we go are also brutal on brakes, but Martinsville is the king of brake killers. You have to have a great handling car so that you don't have to use so much brake, so that you don't, if nothing else, the brakes are so good today, a lot of times the brakes will live, but the tire bead melts, and you lose a bead you know, off the right front tire. So handling is key everywhere we go, except maybe Talladega. It's really key. But Martinsville, you've really got to put the brakes into the mix and make the brakes and the handling work together. It's a treacherous little pit road. It's a tough racetrack, and it's very much like Bristol in the way that 500 laps is just, you know, it is an incredible feat for these teams to be able to do flawlessly and execute and avoid, you know, all problems, whichever it might be on pit road or out on the racetrack. Have a fast race car, have the brakes that the car needs, and be in a position to make a run for it. It's a pretty complex formula to have right there at the end, but if you do all those things right, then you can be there and be a contender at the end.
Well, Mark, I know off the track you've got a big event coming up in your hometown of Batesville, Arkansas, something I know you're very proud of. Bring us up to speed on the Mark Martin Fan Days and the 2009 edition of that coming up on Easter week.
Yeah, it's a really exciting event. This is our 5th annual. We call it our Fan Days, Mark Martin Fan Days. It's our 5th annual event. We always have it around the Easter weekend. This year we're having it the 9th and 10th of April, which is right before the Easter weekend. We have a huge plan for this event. The fans are really excited. We have our, you know, old buddy Tony Stewart coming back for the 3rd year straight. He's just such an incredible guy. He's really gone the extra mile when he comes. He volunteered himself back this year, you know, because I think he has a good time with it. We also have Rick Hendrick coming in, and we've got Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming in as well. So, you know, we brought in Cup champions, just numbers of them. I couldn't name them all. You know, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, and you know, I don't know who all else through the years. And so, you know, what I've tried to do is just bring a little bit of the NASCAR to hometown Arkansas. And for me, what I really enjoy about it is I don't come in and do a 2-hour appearance. I get there in the morning, I stay there all day, I try to sign everybody's autograph that wants an autograph, answer questions, take pictures, and really hang out and talk to the fans. This year may be huge. With the lineup that we have, I don't know, you know, for sure if it can be as personal or not, but we really hope so. We have Q&As, we've got all kinds of events, fun things for kids to do and everything, and it's just my way of giving back to the fans. All my stuff's there at the museum, and they can take a tour of that, and it's just a big time.
Well, Mark, we appreciate the time. Good luck with that event, and of course, good luck this weekend in Martinsville.
Thank you.
Mark Martin, driver of the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, joining us here on the Racing One Report. Let's open up our right turn mailbag this week and see what one of our readers wants to know. And this week our letter comes from Shelley Hunt of Batavia, Illinois, who asks, what's the special trophy and award that drivers get for winning a race at Martinsville Speedway? Well, Shelley, that is, of course, the famous Martinsville grandfather clock, something that track president and owner and founder Clay Earls did, and it continues to be a tradition here today. Thanks for your question, Shelley. And of course, if you have a question, all you have to do is send us a note here at racingone.com/right turn. If we use it here on an upcoming edition of the Racing One Report, we'll send you out a nice prize. And of course, all your questions will be posted in our right turn feature on the website. Well, before we go to Martinsville, let's open up our Racing One Notebook and bring you up to speed on some news and notes from around the racing world. And of course, the Earnhardt name will again be back on track this coming summer. We've got Dale Earnhardt Jr., of course, racing in the Sprint Cup Series for Hendrick Motorsports, and as well as his junior motorsports team. Well, his stepbrother, Kerry Earnhardt, and Kerry's son, Jeffrey Earnhardt, have joined Rick Ware, and they'll run some nationwide series races this year. Kerry will run a handful of races, as well as Jeffrey, the 19-year-old driver who has spent some time in the Camping World East Series. He's going to make his nationwide debut at Dover in May, run some races this year, and hopes of finding some sponsorship to run for Rookie of the Year in 2010. Also, the 25th running of the Sprint All-Star Challenge will take place on May the 16th and 17th that weekend at Lowe's Motor Speedway. And, of course, there'll be a lot of racing action going on, culminating with the Sprint All-Star Challenge and a new format this year, 50 laps in the first segment, 2 other segments of 20 laps, and then a 10-lap shootout with $1 million on the line, reverting back to a format that was used a few years ago, and it's a fan favorite. You'll see it again this year in the 2009 running of the Sprint All-Star Challenge. That'll do it for this edition of the Racing One Report. Remember, keep it here at racingone.com. We'll have all the news from around the racing world this weekend from Martinsville, including the Truck Series race on Saturday and, of course, the Sprint Cup Series race on Sunday. Also, the World of Outlaws in action this weekend. NHRA is in action this weekend. And the Formula One season opens as well. And if you're looking for any tickets of the NASCAR races in 2009, whether it be Sprint Cup Series, Nationwide Series, or the Camping World Truck Series, all you need to do is go to racetickets.com. All your ticketing needs there at the click of a mouse. Thanks for watching this edition of the Racing One Report. This is Pete Pistone reporting.